Oh, thank God. Prime rate didn't change today. Like, thank God. I'm not going to thank Tiff Macklem. I'm going to thank God. Okay. Like, thank God. By the way, I'm an atheist, so it's just an expression. All right. But yes, thanks. Thanks to whoever's out there that changes Tiff Macklem's mind and keeps the rate down. Thank God. We had no Bank of Canada increase today. Nothing changes. It's still high as hell, but it doesn't change. So thank God for that. A lot of people feeling better today, a little bit of relief. It's good. Now, why did it happen? Why didn't Tiff raise rates? Because there's some reasons he could have. You know, inflation, the last inflation print, not so hot. And we also had clear evidence that energy prices are up again. Anybody who fills up with gas knows that. Energy prices up again. Anybody who buys food, anybody who goes to a restaurant, yeah, there seems to be no goddamn relief there. I mean, like the food prices are still high as hell, okay? There's got to be some reasoning, you know, there's some reasoning to suggest that he could have raised. And probably the news out of the States is Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, he's still talking very hawkish. Virtually everybody in the States, everybody in the market for interest rates in the United States, whether it's economists, bond traders, pretty good indicators that rate's going to go up in the U.S. So why did Tiff Macklem not raise the rates? Now he's going to say some bullshit in his comments, but maybe I'm not trying to say Tiff's a bullshitter. I mean, you know, we're not friends, but you know, and he doesn't call me, but I shouldn't be calling him a bullshitter. But like most of the stuff that these central bankers say on rate change day, even though the rate didn't change or the announcement date, a lot of stuff they say it's just stuff. It's just stuff they have to say. They have to certain words have got to come out of their mouth to explain what they're doing. And I know a lot of people spend a lot of time. There'll be some people pore over these remarks and try to break down every paragraph. I don't do that. Okay. Like I just look at the realities of what's going on in the world. And here's a reason that Tiff may not have why he chose not to increase. Why rates did not go up today at the Bank of Canada. We had a really crappy GDP print, gross domestic product print last week. Some real strong indicators we're going into recession in Canada. And even if they don't go into recession in the States, even if they achieve some kind of famous soft landing in the US, which still pretty doubtful for most analysts. But here in Canada, where we have so much debt, where the house prices are all batshit crazy, where people have taken on such big mortgages, where there's so much stress in our economy, it looks like the recession may be here. It looks like there's a chance that we could really slide into economic contraction in Canada, and unemployment will go up. That's all bad news. It's all human tragedy. Let's not try to avoid that. It's all a bad thing for the people involved, and it's a bad thing for most people. But if it happens, looking like it might, then Tiff can say, "Oh, mission accomplished. I have ruined the Canadian economy, which was my goal, because that's how I know inflation will stop." And you know what? Funny voice and all, he's right. I mean, it's a hellish thing that the Bank of Canada governor has to count on harming the health of the Canadian economy to accomplish his job, but that's how it works. I mean, if you can destroy demand in your economy through unemployment and really bad feelings about the future, people stop spending, inflation comes down. That's just the way it works. Now, is it possible that this is just a pause? Because a lot of economists and certainly some people in the bond market believe that by the end of the year, the increases in the U.S., the expected increases in the U.S. could force Tiff's hand, and it'll have to raise eventually. There's still about an 80% chance, according to the bond experts, that there will be an increase in Canada by the end of the year. We're going to find out. Sure enough, we're going to know. But every bad employment report, every bad jobs report, every lousy GDP report that comes forward from here on out starts to tell Tiff that all the work that he did in raising these rates so far, so fast, is working. Sometimes it's about the amount of time you leave the rates high. It's the duration. And as everyone who was severely disappointed on prom night will tell you, duration is very important. Okay, duration is critical. And we're starting to get into 15, 16, 18 months of higher interest rates in Canada. And that's normally about the time that it really kicks in. So chances are Tiff may stop. I'm not going to predict it. I'm not going to say it's for sure. But today, we can have a little joy in the fact that prime rate did not go up. Oh, except for all you people who really want to see it go up for whatever reason, to see your GICs flourish or to look at house prices coming down and you get a shot at buying a house. Well, I can't think too much about you GIC folks right now because you've had a pretty good run. And for the people who want house prices to come down because of forced sales and because of difficulty in the market, I accept that. I understand it. But typically a recession is going to allow that to happen anyway. I mean, one will follow the other. So for today, I'm just going to take a little bit of solace, a little bit of happiness in the fact that the people who've got variable rate mortgages, home equity lines of credit, renewing mortgages in this country have a little breather and a little bit of hope. Here's hoping it keeps up.